We were talking about pure and the impure mind, and we also understood what is disciplined and undisciplined thinking. Normally, we claim that I'm very intelligent, but I may be very intelligent, but if I have an undisciplined thinking, it may be the sheep mind, it may be the monkey mind, it may be the rationalized mind, it may be the cognitive biased mind, it may be the stressed and angry mind. So, as long as we live into these states of the mind is impure, and the impure mind cannot reveal the real self and the permanent state of the happiness. So, then I have been talking about the conventional methods for purification of the mind. So in a couple of the sessions, I will lay the foundation of what are those conventional methods for purification of the mind. Simple way that I meet you and I get agitated. So obviously that agitation is my behavior. It comes from the undisciplined or the impure mind. I get obsessed. I start craving for something. I push someone to agree with what you say. So these are the different states of the mind. In these states of the mind cannot find the real self at all. We cannot enter into the permanent state of the peace and happiness. At the same time, when we discipline the mind, our behavior and attitude changes. It helps us to bring a change in our personal, professional, social, and the family life. So I talked about the money mind. The one is the money mind, workaholism. It results into workaholism or it starts with a stinginess. I neglect the health if I'm working, and if the money mind is there, I'm too much obsessed with the money. I can spend $100 for my pleasure seeking, which does not bring me anything, but I'm not ready to give even $5. So that shows the money mind, and this money mind cannot bring about a transformation. It is a kind of an addictive attachment to the money. That is what we understood. Then we have a sheep mind. We follow the herd, spreading information. I can spread the information, misinformation, by uncritically sharing ideas or 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 about a person. There is the one woman here, and she watched some video of Dalai Lama. So in her mind, that is totally unbecoming of Dalai Lama. So she sent a text to me, what do you think about it? But she knows my nature. So she said, no, 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 I'm not saying it. My friends are asking you, what do you think about his behavior and attitude? You become Dalai Lama, then you will know his or her attitude. So we unnecessarily we spread these ideas, misinformation. But we think as if we are very intelligent. We are extremely intelligent. So this is going to cause lot of problems in my life also, because I will also behave in the same way with my near and the dear ones. So that is what the sheep mind. Sheep mind means, it without thinking, without reasoning, I just follow the herd. So it results into a herd mentality. And that is what happens in gossiping. Normally we feel, oh, let us meet at a lunch, and then we start gossiping. So I gossiped and I enjoyed food also, but that is going to create lot of challenges in the mind. It is going to affect my behavior and attitude. Whatever I do, it is a lack of independent analysis on any subject, on any event, on any situation. So this is what the undisciplined mind is. As long as we have undisciplined mind, it causes the impurity, and the impure mind cannot realize the real self. It cannot change one's behavior and attitude and personality. And that is going to adversely affect our family, personal, professional, and social lives. Then I was talking about the monkey mind. Monkey mind, it's very difficult to focus on any work. And I do costly mistakes, poor listening skills. Monkey mind has an extremely poor listening skills, scattered thinking. So this is that state of the mind cannot find the real self at all. And then rationalized mind. There are two types of mind. One is reasoning mind. So reasoning mind follows the chain of statements with the cause and effect relationship. The rationalized mind is attached to one idea and it sticks to one idea without analyzing it. No, I have a reason to be angry over you because you misbehaved like this. So this is rationalized mind. Well, you behave the way you want to behave. Let me maintain my calmness. So that this is the reasoning mind. You do whatever you want to do. Why should I be affected by you? So this is a cause and effect relationship. So normally, we rationalize a particular event or a condition, even in our relationship. No, you did this. Oh, you did this. No, how it affects me? How it affects my mind? It affects my mind because I rationalize. I have an over expectations from that event, from that situation, from that relationship. That is what the rationalized mind easily gets into anxiety. They flare up easily. They get upset over the small things. So think of your nature. You have not shown any of those behavior, but if you have this, you have to rethink it. Then we have a biased mind. What is biased mind? I instantly come to the judgment without thinking. I have a narrow judgment. It's a limited stereotypes. I have a reactive political opinion. I have a reactive personal opinion about my near and the dear ones. You have been living with the near and dear ones for so many years and still you have those biased opinions. So obviously, I need not to ask you anything. I know how relationship with the near and dear ones goes. I need not to think about it. The last week, I think one pastor from some of the states near you booked a call. She did 4 years of ministership. She became a revered minister. So what was her problem? She sent an email, frustration, anger, reaction, ego. So 4 years of ministership I learned. I said, then how you give a talk to your disciples? No, I can give the talk at disciples, but my inner attitude, inner mind is not calm. It is reactive. Whenever I go to the family, they talk me revered minister, and then they make fun of me. So that is how what happens in our life also. People make fun of us. People make fun of us. What is inside, burning, frustration and anger, this is what the cognitive biased mind. And stressed and angry mind, we all know about it. So what is happening, because I'm going to talk about these 6 conventional methods. It may appear to you in the beginning, if you understand, if you have understood the previous sessions, it will really help you. But if you have not reflected on the previous sessions, these 6 conventional methods will just be a listening. It will not bring any change. So, but before I go over it, we should also understand that how these 6 conventional methods work. It trains our mind, it educates our mind that what is inside, whether it is expressed in the same way in my behavior and action, or there is a conflict between what is inside and what is outside. No, I can hide myself. You cannot hide yourself. If there is something inside you, that will be expressed in your speech, in your action, in your eyes, in your behavior, in your attitude. And that state of disintegrated personality cannot find the permanent peace and happiness in life. Do whatever you want to do. So it trains my mind to change that thinking. Second benefit is that it connects my mind with a higher purpose, in life. It brings a kind of a self-discipline in the mind. It opens up my mind. I have a sense of kindness and generosity. I don't have a sense of sympathy. If you are crying, I may also shed the tears. So that is sympathy. I have an empathy. It brings the sense of generosity and a self-discipline. It brings a sense of mindfulness in every situation. And remember, the mindfulness state can only be achieved if I counter the selfishness and self-centeredness. I'm introducing something new thoughts to you. If you don't have the selflessness, mindfulness is not successful. Do whatever you want to do. So we will also understand that what is this selfishness? Any action, any thought, any speech dictated by attachment and aversion, dictated by the delusion, is what we say selfishness. We have a different definition of selfishness. There is a sense of craving and obsession and possessiveness. It results into anger. It results into reaction. So these 6 conventional methods helps us to move into that state of mindfulness. Then another point, how the 6 conventional methods helps us. It dissolves my ego. It pacifies. It puts the ego in the backyard, especially in your thought, in your behavior, in your speech, in action. Unless that takes place, mindfulness cannot succeed. It cultivates the purity of the mind. It minimizes the mental impurities. It brings a mental discipline. It promotes an idea of a selfless service. It develops a detachment. But what happens if we follow these six conventional methods? It builds a tremendous inner strength. You can face any situation, you can face any event in your life. You know how to handle it because the mind is clear. The mind is not biased, mind does not follow the sheep mentality, mind does not follow the money and the monkey mentality. It reveals the inner strength. Tremendous strength comes to you. No doubt it also builds your character. So just to name these six conventional methods, the first conventional method is in Sanskrit, it is known as yajna. Literal translation of that yajna, literal translation, I will give you the meaning later. The literal translation means that it is a sacrifice. But here the word sacrifice means that I have a giving attitude all the time, the moment I wake up until I retire to the bed. The mind has a receiving attitude, grabbing attitude all the time. That is what society has taught us. But why we should have a giving attitude? We will understand that. I'm just giving a simple meaning of this. So sacrifice means that giving attitude there is at the physical level, at the mental level, at the emotional level. So what happens if I have a giving attitude? I start dropping my ego. I start dropping my attachment. So there are many ways of doing this sacrifice that we will talk about it. The second one is known as, English translation is charity. But the charity means it should be at the physical level, it should be at the mental level, it should be at the emotional level. So if I have the motivation, intention inside that I'm offering this knowledge as a charity, it will definitely help me, whether you learn anything or not. You learn anything or not. But if I have an intention that I'm passing in this knowledge with a strong intention of receiving more and more, that is going to backfire. So the same thing in my relationship, emotional charity. Say, for example, in my relationship, if the guy is not listening or girl is not listening, but still I am moving with affection, it is going to influence my life. It is going to help me. But normally we don't do this. How dare you say like this? I don't have a patience. I don't have a clarity in my head. So that is what so charity has a different meaning. Obviously, physical charity means you are offering money, you are offering food, you are offering clothes. Our garage is full of all the stuff that we don't, our dressing, our closet is full of the clothes I'm not ready to get. Cleanliness is there. So at the physical level, even if I'm ready to give, it opens up my mind and it changes my behavior. We are going to understand that in a detail. Each and every, that is the second. The third, third is the self-discipline. I have to do the self-discipline at the physical level, at the mental level, at the speech level. So do you mean by what do you mean by the self-discipline and the austerity here? I introduce a voluntary discipline in my life, a voluntary hardship in my life. Your honey likes something and you don't like. So you start liking what your honey likes. at the mental and the emotional level. And that is going to change your mind. We don't do that. We have a big ego. What I like is the only right thing in my life. I'm entering into your head, I know that. I'm entering into your emotional and mental level, I know that. You may feel uncomfortable, but you feel uncomfortable, what to do? These are the principles. These are the principles which can transform my life. But these are only the 6 conventional methods. And after that, we move into the best method of purification of it. Why don't you start the best purification of the method? You cannot do PhD without doing masters. There is no way. Unless you prepare a foundation of these 6 conventional methods, then only you can enter into the best method of purification of the mind. Very clearly mentioned. Self-discipline at the physical, at the mental and the vocal level. Do I do the practice every day without fail? Do I listen the talk every day? No, there is no self-discipline. So there are small things. So I introduce very small discipline in my life to bring about a change in the mind. Then another practice which you are familiar is the japa. We use certain mantra and a rosary. So that is also used not only to focus the mind and the purification of the mind. You need not to buy the rosary. I'll give you the japa on the fingers, how to do it. If sometimes we feel that I'm not religious, why should I buy rosary? Nobody. You have all the fingers, I know. I'll tell you, I'll guide you the principles. There are 100 ways of doing it. And then the 6th one is how to connect to the Eastern wisdom emotionally, mentally, physically in my daily life. These are the 5 conventional methods, and the 6th is small vows. Small vows I take, small promises I make to myself. I wake up in the morning. I had a fight with my honey yesterday. I wake up in the morning, so I take a vow that I will take the initiative. I will move with the love and affection. I will forgive. I forget my hesitation, my reaction. I don't forgive others. Do you understand? I don't forgive others. I forget my mistakes easily, but I don't forgive others' mistakes, and especially the near and the dear ones. And that brings the conflict in the relationship. So if you are in a conflict in relationship in your family, how it is possible to have a harmony with any of your friends? It is purely superficial. Finished. It is purely superficial. You have a superficial relationship outside. Think of it. I'm not pointing anyone. I'm just talking about the principles. If I have a slight anger, hesitation, reaction, blame, and complaint against my near and the dear ones who is living with me 24/7, I can switch on to my behavior at a superficial level with my friends, with my neighbors outside, but it is not going to help me. It is not helping me. It is helping me to be a hypocrite. That is the 6th conventional practice. So have you seen all these 6 conventional practices? Helps us to dig deep inside our head, to check and analyze our behavior and attitude, to understand our thinking process, to understand how I speak with different people at different times. And that is where it shows the impurities of our mind. As long as we live with these impurities of the mind, self-knowledge, self-realization, permanent peace, permanent happiness, not possible at all. Not at all possible. So that is just the beginning of understanding. That is why I talked different aspects of pure and the impure mind, disciplined and the undisciplined thinking, and what are the three factors, main factors for the impurities of the mind. The impurities have six enemies in the last 5 or 6 sessions. Due to the distraction, what are the problems we face in our life, and the ignorance ultimately causes the delusion, and it results into lot of challenges in our life. We could, because of last point, that's extremely important. You can note down in your head and in your mind. Because of these impurities, because of the three factors, because of the money mind, monkey mind, sheep mind, rationalized mind, and whatever I talked about it, the cognitive biased mind, because of this nature of the mind, I create an unfavorable conditions in my life, in my society. No, it is not possible. I'll explain you. You'll be surprised. So the current situation, if it is unfavorable, your mind is responsible for it. You are responsible for it. And if we bring about a change in the mind by these 6 conventional methods, you will find out, you will see the favorable conditions enters into your life. So those unfavorable conditions are known as the sins I have committed in the past, and I'm getting the result. And those favorable conditions I can create by these 6 conventional practices. The life is definitely is going to change if you follow it. If you simply listen and avoid it, it will not. So let us close your eyes. Eyes are closed, and let us being place, find out the best place of. I'll give you a brief of those 6 practices in the practice itself. 6 conventional methods. So first find out the place. So now you place. So when we are selfish, we do not see or expand our mind outside. So now what I'm saying, surrounding awareness. What is surrounding awareness? Become aware of the space just outside the body. Become aware of the space just outside the body, the room, the articles in the room. So these articles in the place is not creating any problem. They are not creating any problem to you, but they create the problem to me. Why? They create problem to me when I am selfish. Then even the temperature of the room is not of your liking, you get upset in meditation. I'm just giving it's a very subtle discipline. And that is where the sacrifice came. I connect to where I am placed. What is the position of the body? I find out there is no discomfort and unease. And then the posture where I am sitting, I check it. So because I do not check these things, I am not aware, and my sheep mind, my monkey mind takes over me, and I fail in meditation. You see how I'm relating? Now, being comfortable. So when I say being comfortable means at the body level. So being comfortable, what I say, you look at the neck joint. Now you look at the neck joint and move the mind to the origin of the neck joint, from where the neck joint starts. You see, I'm introducing all the 6 conventional methods in a very simple way. So when you look at the root of the neck joint means what? You indirectly move the mind within. So if you do it regularly, you will understand what it means by moving, what it means by looking at the neck joint. So what happens? Why I gave this instruction? Because your mind becomes extraordinarily aware. You are not looking only at the surface of the neck joint, but you go deeper. And when you go deeper, your distractions, the wandering mind stops. Now you see the same steps, but you are going very deeper with the knowledge and understanding. And once you look at the root of the neck joint, the experience of sensation, comfort, and steadiness is natural. So whenever you feel sensation, comfort, and steadiness, it is because of this self-discipline in being comfortable. Looking at the shoulder joints, it means you're going to the root of the shoulder joints, being there, feeling the sensation, comfort, and steadiness. The entire body, look at all the joints, elbow joints, knees, ankles, toes. So if your mind lives deeper within, it picks up a sensation at the root. You naturally feel the sensation, comfort, and steadiness. It stops wandering mind. That is why I gave you this step. But if it doesn't stop, obviously mind is somewhere else. And then we go to being carefree. Being carefree. It is a practice of detachment and dispassion. The way you look at neighbor's house, neighbor's car, neighbor's family, the same way you look at your thoughts. You look at your thoughts, feelings, and emotions. So when that happens, that is the meaning of being carefree. That is the meaning of being carefree. I told you all the conventional methods, it helps us to purify the mind. So under the self-discipline comes the breathing practice. So here we are using the breathing to purify the mind. So you look inside the head in the space. You keep looking inside the head in the space. You focus there and then you start breathing into the ribs. Start breathing into the ribs. Short and gentle breath. Your chest expands and your chest contracts. Chest expands and chest contracts. Continue. Breath goes in and out. Short and gentle, short and quick breathing. So it helps to purify the mind. We will talk about it. We will understand deeply under this six conventional methods. Six, continue breathing. You are breathing quick and short breath into the rib cage. And stop this. Experience the changes. Feel the change in the sensation. Maybe sometime people say it is a freshness. So, this freshness and the sensation we experience now has come because of the purity of the mind. So, what is happening because of the purity? I raise my awareness level. In that awareness level, when you look at the head and the neck, when you look at the head and the neck, you experience the sensation, relaxation, and stillness. When you look at the right arm, sensation, relaxation, and stillness. And you move the body during the practice, it means the very first step was not done correctly, was not done with the right understanding. What was the first step? Place, position, and the posture. So we will understand the deeper. Now move the mind on the left arm, shoulders to the fingertips. Experience the sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Moving the mind on the chest and the belly, in the front, and the spine at the back, the entire middle portion of the body. You are looking, you are aware, and you experience sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Moving the mind on the right leg, from the right side of the waist to the toes. You know, the skin awareness is deeper than simply aware of the right leg. That is why I used to say in the instruction that you move the mind on the skin of the right leg and feel the sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Move the mind on the left leg From the left side of the waist to the toes, sensation, relaxation, and stillness. The entire body, from the top of the head to the toes, sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Last time we did it, so that comes under the austerity, that how long I can keep my mind on the flow of the breath without changing. So that instruction I used to give you, I used to say that look at the breath in the state of stillness in the body. You are looking at the breath is going in and out, no change. You feel the sensation of the breath, and every time the breath goes in or comes out, you drop the mantra Shantoham. So, austerity, how come it is an austerity and a self discipline? So, whenever any thought enters into mind, there comes the power of austerity. You become alert, you superimpose Shantoham on that thought. After superimposition, you see that thought dissolves, and then you return to the moving breath, dropping Shantoham on the breath. Every breath going in and every breath coming out. So sometime your mind starts chasing the thought. What happened? You forgot that minute self-discipline. Oh, I was aware of the breath, I was dropping off Shantoham, and I forgot that. So those are the impressions in the mind, triggers in the form of a thought, causes the distraction. So we return again, we remember I'm dropping. And when any thought enters, I superimpose Shantoham. In every talk, we check and understand how that knowledge can be applied into the practice to bring about a change in our life. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand, your mind on the left hand. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes. Open the eyes inside. Know your experiences. Bring the hands down. We will share our experiences, and if you have any question, we will try to resolve that together. How are you, John?
Hey, Girish, I'm fine. I think I'm suffering from monkey mind tonight.
Very good. How long?
All right.
How long?
Maybe every day of my life. I don't know.
Yes, that is the question we should ask. So if I'm suffering from monkey mind, more and more breathing step and Shantoham. The last two steps has to be repeated again and again and again. How are you, Anne?
Fine and quiet. I dozed off here and there a few seconds.
Yes.
But I feel good.
You feel good in spite of dozing off. So
Yeah.
what happens if we do a practice for a longer period every day for about 2 or 3 weeks, that dozing off goes away. There is no issue. We have to do it only practice has to be done for a longer period. Very good, John and Anne. And how are you, Sophie?
Hi, Girish. I'm good. I dozed off also.
You dozed, yeah. So sometimes we feel as if the reason being is that I'm tired. That is why I dozed off. But in Eastern wisdom, we say it is because of losing awareness and alertness of what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
So it is, the same. The regular the practice, the deeper the practice, you simply pick up Om Shanto Ham. Now Shanto Ham on the breath and check it that, let me do it for 10 minutes couple of times. So within a week that dozing off, and also the monkey mind goes away. How are you, Mead?
I feel very good. I feel a kind of clarity.
Very good.
When you take a pebble and you drop it in the pond,
yeah,
and then it does that, that's how I feel.
Yes. So what is important? That is a very good thing. And now check that. Does that clarity remains 24/7?
No.
If it remains 24/7, I have reached to a state of purity. Then meditation is a play and a fun. Then neither the monkey, sheep mind, rationalized mind, stressed and angry mind is not working in my life. It has to be. That is the journey of meditation that I should progress. Very good. That is all for today. Thank you very much, sir and ma'ams.